Hi guys, okay, now we're going to do the stretch back into reality series, which you basically just need a table and a chair, and if you've got a Theraband, if not a Theraband, you can use a belt or something that reflects something that you can have a little bit of tension with, which I'll show you in a minute. Basically I'm trying to recreate the barrel, so I've got a chair that I'm going to turn this way. And we're going to start where we always start, which is with a quadricep stretch. We're going to take your foot like that, and we're going to begin. We're just going to do 2 quadricep stretches on each side. You want to make sure your spine is super straight. Be careful that you don't do this. Be careful that you are not sticking your bum out. So you want to tuck your bum under, and we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. We're going to make sure our spine is really, really straight. And again, it's important to hold for that amount of time. There's no point in going into a stretch and then just popping back out of it. We're going to hold it. We've got 15 more seconds to go.
People with sore legs, Nat, or sore knees?
People with sore knees, is up to you whether you want to do this or not. I can't tell you whether it's good for you or not because I don't know who's watching and who's doing it, but this is another one that you guys have. This is your call whether you do this or not.
And do you stand with your legs straight on the standing leg?
I do a straight leg. I know my teachers do a bent leg, so that's again up to you. Whatever you feel best with what you can feel your quadricep.
I like a bent leg.
I like a straight leg. So basically just do what you want.
And if you've got...
And I know all of you are thinking, oh my god, this is so boring, I can't believe she's letting us do the quadricep stretch. There's a reason why I make you do the quadricep stretch every time you come into Pilates. The quadriceps need to be stretched. For a majority of people, it's an important way of also grounding into your body by releasing. You think about how much you're using your legs, you know, the quads need to be released and stretched. Sorry, Mandy, what did you want to ask me?
ITB bands, because I always get people to think about how their knees might be kicking out, just to draw that knee into the other knee, just to get a little stretch down the side there.
Yeah, so if you draw the knee in slightly, being aware if you're doing this with a knee injury, be careful as well that you're not straining your inner knee. Let's change sides. So don't kick it out to the side. Draw it in. Tuck it under. Terribly gloomy day out there in Barcelona.
Good for the garden, good for the farmers.
Good for the environment. The environment's taking a huge, big, deep breath right now.
Exactly.
We have to keep thinking about that. While we're in fear and worrying about what's going to happen, be thinking that our planet is actually taking a huge, big breath and going, oh, thank God they're leaving us alone.
Well, the figures of the amount of people who wouldn't fly in the next 30 days from America were astounding. I think it was
kind of amazing in a way.
Yeah, it was a lot of seats. I feel sorry for the airlines, but not for the ozone layer.
So for all of you guys that are working from home and things like that, it's great. But then you got to think there are lots of small business that can't work from home, that we're being affected by this as well, which is why we keep dropping into our base chakras. We're going to stay for like another 15 seconds.
How do you breathe when you're actually doing this, Natalia?
I just breathe normally. I'm not contracting anything. I'm just breathing to survive. I'm breathing to live. Okay, so now I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go into my hamstring stretch. You've got to think of I've got this quite close to my leg because I've got the flexibility that I can do it, and also I don't want to adjust and push the table back anymore, which normally with a barrel I probably have it more or less aligned with your calf muscle, but I don't want to affect the aesthetics of the studio because Mandy will freak out if I change the way it's all set. Okay, so this is the way we're going to do it today. I'm going to put my hands back here, so I'm holding on to something like I would if I was at the studio, and then I'm going to just fold my body forward.
I always tell people to draw that femur bone back into its socket.
This one here,
Yeah.
don't let everything be coming forward like that. This hip bones must be square, folding forward. And again, you can play with your stretch. If you rock your leg to the side, it's going to feel different. If you have it parallel, it's going to feel different. You're going to come back up. And you're going to go back forward, and we're going to do it 6 times. You can also just do a drop head with the neck, or you can bend from the spine, depending upon what feels better for you. We've got 3 more to go.
Relax the foot.
Relaxing the foot, that is my foot relaxed, Mandy.
No, I'm just saying for other people at home, because I can feel them all with their feet tensed up.
Yeah, don't add in the extra stress of flexing your foot back like that. That doesn't feel good. That's a little bit too much on the nervous system. Come back up and coming forward. This is a good time if you are in a relationship with someone that you can show them what it is that you do at Pilates.
Exactly.
You can show them who we are.
You can do duets together.
We're going to change legs. I have to say this does feel a little bit close as I'm doing it. I'm realising just how much more intense it is having this as close. So this is quite a strong stretch. And we're going to come back up. You're going to do 4 more.
Is it good having the chair there to hold on to?
I'm enjoying having some stability here.
Yeah.
You can do this. I know a lot of you will want to do this. Again, this is your stretch. You've got to play with this stretch as you want. As a dancer, I've been taught to kind of move and play and try and get into all the little nooks and crannies of my own hamstring. But I'm guiding you to do it like this, but you can do whatever you want as long as you're stretching your hamstring. The way I move my head will feel different in the way it stretches. I think I've got 2 more to go.
Yep.
3, 2. My counts are getting a little bit out while having to talk and be filmed and do it at the same time. Last one. Those fowls are so beautiful.
I know, I'm very happy that they've come out. I'm glad to share them with everybody.
And again, the range of what you can do, okay? I know some of you, this is enough, just holding it like this. For me, it's really important when we do this stretch that we don't compromise through the back. The back must be stretched. And if you need to bend your knee rather than compromising through that spine and trying to get it up like that. The most important thing is that the back is stretched, and then you work it from there. So now we're going to do the side stretch. This leg's going to come up. Okay? Again, with your hip bones with this exercise, you want to think this hip bone here needs to drop. You need to find your adductor. If you're someone that's flexible, it's really easy to sit up on top of the muscle. At the moment, I don't feel anything. But if I take my awareness into my muscle, I drop my hip down and I search for the muscle, then I can feel it. So those of you that are really flexy, you've got to find the muscle, okay? You can't just always rely on the level of the angle that you're on. And then I'm going to take my hand over, I'm going to lift my hand up, and I'm going to reach over.
Ooh, and hit the light.
And hit the light. Ooh. And then I'm going to come back up. And I'm going to do that 4 more times. And the next time I do this, I'm going to think about the setup a little bit differently. That's kind of fun. Kind of get a bigger stretch that way. Come back.
We're on a.
Hey?
We're on a new set, Nat.
Don't want to break the light.
Please don't do that.
Get a new one.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm not going to do the other side because I don't think it's going to give you my best angle. But obviously you turn around and do the other side. Or maybe I should do the other side.
I think you should.
Okay. Leg's going to go up. I'm going to find my adductor by placing my pelvis in the right position by dropping my hip bones down. I'm going to stop that from moving. Holding on, arm up. And I'm coming across and I'm just enjoying the stretch of my adductor.
For people with really tight hamstrings, Nat, who can't get their leg up on top of a table, could they do it on a chair or?
Yeah, just lower the angle. Just take your leg down onto a chair. I feel my adductor stretching even if I had it down on a low
stool or chair.
Yeah. We're stretching the side out. You've all done this a million times before in class. Feels really good. Again, if you want to change the way you feel, you can stick your bottom out, press down into it. You don't have to do the coming over section, you can just play with the stretch. Okay, and by rotating my leg and rotating my pelvis kind of gets me into different parts of my abductor. I would recommend that you guys do that all over again. That's just my recommendation, but it's up to you. It depends on how much time you've got on your hands. I think we've got lots of time on our hands. Okay, so now we're going to come and sit on the mat, and we're going to sit with our legs like that, one leg up on top of the other. You're then going to sit up in your spine. You're going to elongate your spine.
People with knee problems?
People with knee problems, again, this is something that you might be able to do or you might not be able to do. You're going to have to play it by how it feels.
Can they bring the other foot down in front?
You could, actually. You could also sit, those of you with tight hips can also sit on a pillow to make it a little bit easier on yourself. So you're going to take one foot up if you can, if not, stick it in front. You're going to bring your body forward. Hands are going to be like that, and you're just going to relax your head forward. I find this a very strong stretch. Some of you might not. I find it strong because I also feel the stretch going through my spine. I feel my right glute. You're going to stay there for about 10-15 seconds.
And what are we stretching now?
We're stretching the glute. Some of you will feel your inner thigh as well, depending upon what tightness you have in your leg. Some of you will feel the hamstring a little bit as well. We're then going to come to the side, stretching into the other side.
Nice QL stretch.
This is also stretching into the QL. You've got to keep on pulling the sitting bone down on that right side. Keep pulling this knee down. Then you're going to come to the other side. It's kind of a bit of an unwinder before you go to bed at night as well, which is quite nice. Quite strong through the lower back. More or less my boob is aligned with my leg. You're then going to come up and we're going to change legs. You just swap from one leg to the other. And if you're doing it the other way, like this, you just swap. Change. Just putting it up like this just makes it that little bit stronger. We're going to lift. We're going to come forward. I'm going to keep talking to you, but basically I prefer you to have your head down. But I'm going to keep on communicating with you. Because
so for those of you in Spain who are with us, just to let you know, we've just heard that in Madrid, there's obviously always people who like to cause problems while the whole world goes into a little bit of crisis.
Changing
and
space.
We're being told that there are people in Madrid who are pretending to be doctors to get into people's houses and rob them. So just be aware wherever you are that there's always the scoundrels who are going to take advantage of people when they're vulnerable. So don't take for granted who's at your door right now. It's a shame. It's very sad.
What, they're pretending to be doctors so they can come in and steal from you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're then going to open up and we're going to do another adductor stretch. Everyone has a different angle that they need to work on. I'm going to more or less go with this angle. You're then going to put your hands forward and you're just going to reach forward until you feel a stretch. You're just going to hold that for at least 30 seconds.
You can do this up on the wall as well, can't you?
Yeah.
So if you lay flat on your back.
Lay on your back and open your legs against the wall.
Yes, exactly, which is a really nice stretch. Lay down, go as close as you can to the wall with your bottom, and then put your legs up on the wall, take a breath in, and then open them as wide as you can. If you put some leg weights on, you'll get a really big stretch, just a very low weight, maybe half a kilo. That's making Nat cringe to think about that. But
yeah, because we used to have to do that at the end of when I was doing my dance degree. On a Friday, we would do a conditioning class in which we would stretch our hamstrings into an oblivion, and then the last thing we would do is we'd have to lay against the wall with our legs, and all my dancer friends will remember this. We'd have to lay against the wall with our legs open, and we'd have to stay there for 5 minutes. And after a full week of so much dancing, it was so difficult to get one's legs back together, and it was so difficult to walk home after that.
I can imagine.
Okay, this leg's going to come in like this on this angle. You're going to drop, take hold of your leg, and take this arm up and over. And you're just going to relax into that.
It's nice to think of the palm going down to the floor with this one.
Maybe don't do this energy through the fingers. So you're stretching all of this line. And we're going to change sides. All of this can be repeated again as well. I'm doing it all relatively quickly.
For some people, this is a really difficult stretch, so you just need to go as far as you can. You might need to bend the lengthened knee a little bit, yes, just so that you can, because not everyone's got as flexible hamstrings as Natalia and can lengthen that leg and do this stretch. I know some of our clients can't, so just take it where you can.
Okay, now we're going to do the pigeon stretch. So, pigeon stretch. You're going to start with the knee being slightly out on alignment of where your left hip is. Then you're going to drop down into the stretch, and then depending upon your flexibility and depending upon your hip socket, you're going to move this leg according to what you need to feel the stretch.
And your knees.
I actually feel this stretch with my leg like that, but I know there are lots of you that are super flexy that need to take it out. That's up to you. And then there are some of you that are just going to struggle to get into the stretch in general. And then you're just going to drop onto your elbows and you're just going to hold that position. I'm nice and square, this foot at the back is down. And again, it's really important to get into these stretches and just try and sit and relax in them.
How long do you recommend staying in this stretch, Nat?
About 30-40 seconds is good. Or longer if you want, if you can handle it a little bit longer.
And how many repetitions do you think people should do?
Two on each side. Starting to get hungry.
Your hair's looking like you're Bart Simpson.
Okay, I went to the hairdressers.
Exactly, don't talk to me about the hairdressers.
So when we received the news on Friday about the world being closed down, about
Spain.
Barcelona being closed down, just before that, Mandy got a phone call from her hairdresser saying unfortunately she wouldn't be able to do her hair on the Tuesday that she made, which is tomorrow. And Mandy had known that things were probably going to start closing down soon, but she didn't anticipate that it would happen so quickly. So I'm just going to quickly line up. So I've got my knee aligned with my hip, my other heel aligned with my hip bone, and I'm going to drop down. And this foot is down at the back, and I'm going to sit in it and relax. And so basically she got the announcement from her hairdresser first, soon followed to realise that Barcelona was going to be shut down. So there was like a good 45 minutes of extreme stress in regards to firstly the hair, secondly everything being shut down. So you can imagine how my life was for those minutes.
Yeah, so for any of you,
she wasn't going to have her hair cut and coloured in the next 3 weeks, and no, she'll be going online. So we managed to get the next day, because everything was shut and we couldn't get anything, we managed to be able to find a wholesaler that was open, and we managed to get Mandy's colour, and I'm going to be doing it.
Yes.
So we might even film that.
Yes. I still can't really talk about it. Anyone who knows me from the studio will actually realise what sort of crisis this is in my life. I know it sounds very superficial, but
Mandy not being able to get her hair
it's very important
is
to
a
me.
crisis.
It is for me.
And it's a crisis for me.
Exactly. Sorry about that, Nat.
So I did everything that was possible to make sure she got that colour that next day.
So you're going to see sort of a new style coming of just a little bit longer than normal. Not maybe as precise as it normally is.
I told Mandy I could try cutting it as well, but she said no.
No, I think
It's a little fringe cut.
No little fringe cuts, thanks, Nat. I might not be able to see soon. Okay, we're going to go back to the other side.
Yes.
This is Nat's third video today, so you can imagine, she's hungry and
I want a glass of wine.
However, you're much more important to her than that glass of wine.
You are. You're so much more important to me.
Okay, so what's after this next, Nat?
We're going to do just a neck stretch and then that's it. I'm just going to say a little bit longer. Again, those of you that want more, remember it's changing the angle of the leg that's going to make it more intense. Pulling this out, pulling this lever out that way. Okay, so all you need now is your Therabands.
If you don't have a Theraband, you could use the belt off of your dressing gown or something like that. Not everyone had a chance to get our message on Friday when we realised that everyone needed a kit. So we're going to have to be innovative. If you find some things that are really innovative to show us to pass on to other people, please.
Yeah, send us pictures, please, of things that you're basically using in the house, because there are going to be people that have not going to know what to use. So your suggestions are going to be very valuable at this time. So you're going to stand on the band, a little bit of pressure coming down onto the shoulders, and then you're just going to take your ear to your shoulder. Be careful that you don't with the shoulders. The shoulders need to be level. Be careful again, when you guys have heard me say this a million times in the studio, when you're doing neck stretches, you're not doing a leg stretch, so don't overstretch it. You're just looking for a little bit of pleasure.
Just think of the shoulder on the opposite side to your head, just drawing down to the floor. Just gently though, like we're talking micromillimeters.
And I'm dropping my chin down towards my chest as if I'm going to smell my own armpit.
If you've got a neck injury, if you've got herniated discs in your neck, just be really careful with this. Don't push it. It can be very small movement to get that stretch. And now when you do this, a lot of people just go into it on an angle. Try and keep if you can, look in a mirror, keep your ear to your shoulder first. So you keep everything parallel so that your spine is still stabilized. And your cervicals are actually supported. Yeah, and then do a little twist and look down.
Smoking and smell my own armpit.
It's not a very nice analogy, Natalia, but...
And then I'm going to come back, looking straight ahead, and I'm just going to do some shoulder shrugs. I'm just going to roll my shoulders back.
So think of lifting your shoulders to your ears, drawing them down, keeping the tension in the Theraband, so it's just the shoulders that are lifting up and then drawing down. Everything else is staying relaxed and stable.
6 times. Okay. And then we're going to drop the band and we're going to do a roll down. So we're just going to start, you can either do it with slightly bent legs or extended legs, but not hyper extended. And you're just going to start with dropping your head forward and just slowly releasing the spine. As I get a little further down, I'm going to bend my knees.
If you do it against the wall, you'll feel your spine imprint come off.
And
The
just
wall.
slowly roll back up.
And then draw it back up again.
And you're kind of just doing this more for putting oil in the vertebrae, moving them bit by bit, but you're also doing this just kind of a bit of a release. Everybody loves a roll down, apart from those people that have spinal herniations in their spine at the moment. Those of you that are in like a crisis state at the moment, do not do this, please. But those of you that are feeling okay, you can do a few of them.
So breathe in, and as you breathe out, chin to chest. Feel that your spine, if it's on a wall, is coming off vertebra by vertebra. Let the arms hang. Take it down, bend the knees, take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage your pelvic floor, suck your belly button up, and then actually draw back up onto the wall, vertebra by vertebra. Out, back up to standing. Last things, the head coming back to stability again.
So guys, enjoy our first 3 videos, and we will see you again in a day.